And welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today's band comes from Poland. It's not a new band, it's actually more than 20 years old, yet this is still their third album, and that being since 2003 when the band did their debut album. This one is called Anima Damnata, and the album is called, and now I must read, not to fail it, Nefarious seed grows to bring forth Supremacy of the Beast. What a monster for a name, so let's take a look how this CD looks like. So here's the CD, not much to see there, and then the CD inlay, which yet again shows you that the length of the title is way too big to fit even the layout here. As you can see, there's the track list and kind of a nice sinister feeling with this album. And there is some badass Demon Baby. Yes, this is certainly something black metalish, right? Well, partially so, but more than that, this is about death metal. Here's the lineup of the band. Kind of a war metalish feeling if you ask me. So let's take a look of this booklet. As you can see, there's kind of a unique style with this CD and the lyrics here. Then there are more band pictures, so they are clearly showing that what this band is all about. And if you ask me, this booklet and all the style here kind of gives me a nice vibe. Nice, not that being the proper word for guys looking like this, but you know, the feeling that this is some proper ass-kicking extreme metal, maybe in the side of being more black than death. However, it's quite the opposite, and how disappointed I was in the sense of music. Now, while this band is kind of labeled black/death metal, this is more the latter one, and definitely much more. Even though there are these kind of black metal vibes, this is mostly about pounding death metal fast. That is lots of blast beating, lots of fast picking, and kind of a war metalish thing. But if only this band was a little bit better copycat than what it is now, I would be a happy listener. Unfortunately, this album is very tiresome after spin or two. And let me tell you, I gave it more than that. But I never got to grow on this album because it definitely kept me more bored than, enthusiastic. The thing is that this band seems to think, at least when it comes to my mind, based on this album, that how fast you play is the most important factor creating an extreme metal. Well, that might have been the case if it was, I don't know, 1986 or something like that. But nowadays, when you have so much more skilled players, more produced albums, more extreme stuff than ever before, fast playing is not gonna cut it. There's no shortcut for making good song or good album, and that's where this album fails miserably. Now the thing is that while this band tries to be so goddamn extreme, it just leaves me with the feeling, so is this everything you got to offer? While these guys are being aggressive and kind of a heavy, it's, seems to me like a one-trick pony. Just, war metal song after war metal song, and it's just about blast beats. And you're like, yeah, there is no single good riff that would make me feel like, okay, maybe this band actually has potential. Not only that, the production on this album is quite weak, to be frank. When the band plays slower parts, there are a few, but not too many, it kind of feels like, okay, now it's gonna, do something really badass. But those riffs are hardly reaching any good potential there. They are just kind of like opening intro tracks and then leading yet another blast. And that becomes really, really boring when there are no killer riffs and songs. Also, the kind of a mannerism with this band is that there's always the same kind of feel after these blast parts, and the band is just trying to do kind of a blasphemy kind of a stunt. But the thing is, these guys are not that good. The production kind of becomes kind of a mushy, kind of like a oatmealish when it comes, really fast. So it's not like some listening pleasure, but more like audio boredness. And also the vocals, very basic rolling. There's not like personality, originality, or extra strength within. It's just like, I've heard this a million times before, and usually more better played than this one. So overall feeling is that this band tries to be so hard, so extreme, and so fast pounding that they kind of forgot to do good riffs, because there's no amount of blast beat that would, totally make it worthwhile listening. I'm not saying this is a bad album, but it's kind of a really mediocre one, with some badness included. Yet again, I kind of like it when the band is so die hard to be this extreme one. So really mediocre one, and thus impossible for me to recommend this to anyone unless you have never ever heard fast tempo death metal, and even such cases there are a million better bands and albums out there. So Anima Damnata, not giving a go with this one. Anyhow, should you get interested in the band, there are some samples online, so go check them out. Thank you for watching or listening to this review, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so far, and if you have any comments, feedback or whatever, there's a box for that underneath the review. See you next time, and Rauta out.